What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because today we're diving deep into one of the most striking, powerful, and bold statements ever to roll off an American production line. This is the 1959 Dodge Royal Lancer D500, a machine that didn't just move, it roared. A car that didn't whisper luxury, but shouted dominance with every turn of the key. Picture this, it's 1959, the golden age of chrome tailfins and unrestrained design ambition. Detroit is at its peak. The interstate highways are stretching like veins across America, and the space race is fueling imagination. Dodge, a brand often seen as the brawny middle child of Chrysler's lineup, was about to make a statement that said, "We can do elegance and muscle in one unstoppable package." Enter the Royal Lancer D500, a car so ahead of its time, it felt like it had stepped out of a dream. From the moment your eyes catch that sweeping silhouette, you understand this isn't just another vintage car. This is rolling sculpture. The body lines are daringly dramatic, with jet age curves and exaggerated fins that seem to slice through the air. Those fins, massive, unapologetic, and full of presence, weren't just decoration. They were identity. Dodge wanted people to recognize this car from a mile away, even at 80 miles per hour on the highway, and trust me, the D500 had no trouble getting there. Under that long, gleaming hood lived the heart of a true American powerhouse, the D500 Performance Package. It wasn't just a trim, it was a declaration. At its core was a 383 cubic inch V8 engine capable of producing 320 horsepower, a figure that was pure insanity for its time. But the numbers only tell half the story. It wasn't just about raw output, it was about how that power arrived. With its 4-barrel carburetor and dual exhaust system, the D500 didn't just accelerate, it thundered forward like a low, flying aircraft. You didn't just drive this car, you commanded it. And then there was the sound. That deep, guttural rumble that could only come from a late 50s Mopar. It wasn't a polite hum or a refined whisper. It was a growl, mechanical poetry that announced your arrival long before anyone saw those iconic tailfins glinting in the sun. For car lovers, that sound wasn't noise. It was music. Pure, unfiltered Americana. Step inside and you're greeted by a world that perfectly captures the optimism of the era. Chrome accents gleam from every surface, while rich two-tone upholstery wraps around wide, bench-style seating that could comfortably fit a small crowd. The dashboard looks like the control panel of a spaceship, with sweeping dials, stylish lettering, and details that remind you that back then, design wasn't about efficiency. It was about emotion. Every knob, every stitch, every line existed to make you feel something. Dodge was chasing more than just performance. They were chasing prestige. The Royal Lancer wasn't your average family car. It was a symbol of success, style, and status. The kind of car that parked itself confidently in front of drive in theaters, diners, and motels under the neon glow of the American dream. And in D500 form, it stood for something even bigger. It was proof that muscle could meet luxury in perfect harmony. Now, let's talk about presence. Because presence is something that can't be measured in horsepower or torque. It's something you feel. The D500's stance, with its bold front grille, its gleaming chrome spears running along the fenders, and its sweeping rear fins pointing to the future, made it look fast even when standing still. It had confidence, that unshakable mid-century swagger that said, "I was built to lead." The 1959 model year represented the peak of Dodge's wildest design language. Virgil Exner's forward-look styling philosophy was in full swing. The idea that every car should look like it's moving forward, even when parked. And nowhere was that idea more perfectly realized than on the Royal Lancer. Every contour, every light, every piece of trim contributed to a design that screamed optimism, motion, and modernity. But let's not forget what the D500 stood for under the surface. This was a car built for those who wanted to stand apart. Dodge didn't build millions of them, and they weren't cheap. If you drove one, you weren't just another motorist. You were part of an elite club that understood what true performance meant. The D500 badge on the rear fender wasn't just a decoration, it was a promise that you were driving one of the most advanced, most powerful Dodges ever made at the time. Today, finding one of these machines is like discovering buried treasure. So few survive, and fewer still remain in their original D500 configuration. Collectors prize them not only for their beauty, but for their significance. They mark a turning point in Dodge's evolution. The D500 laid the groundwork for the performance legends that would follow in the 60s and 70s, from the Charger Daytona to the Challenger Hellcat. This was the blueprint the moment Dodge realized that power and style could live under one roof. Imagine cruising down a long stretch of Route 66 in 1959. The sun setting behind you, chrome reflecting the warm glow of the desert horizon. Radio tuned to Elvis or Buddy Holly. The V8 hums beneath the hood, steady and strong, while curious eyes turn to follow you as you pass. The D500 wasn't just transportation, it was theater. It was motion, art, and attitude fused together in metal and glass. And even today, over 6 decades later, the D500 still captures its spirit. It stands as a reminder of what American cars once were: bold, fearless, and larger than life. When you see one, you don't just see a car, you see an era. You see craftsmanship without compromise, design without restraint, and performance without apology. This isn't just nostalgia talking. This is reverence. The 1959 Dodge Royal Lancer D500 represents the best of what the golden age of cars had to offer. A time when automakers were dreamers, engineers were artists, and every model year brought something new, daring, and unforgettable. So, if you ever get the chance to see one in person, or even better, to hear one come to life, take a moment to appreciate what you're witnessing, because cars like this aren't built anymore. They belong to another world, a world where chrome met courage and gasoline met glory. And that, my friends, is why the 1959 Dodge Royal Lancer D500 isn't just a car, it's a legend, a piece of history that still makes hearts race even after all these years. Thanks for watching, and if you love stories like this about classic machines, design icons, and the legends that shaped automotive history, don't forget to smash that like button. Drop a comment about your favorite vintage Dodge, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more automotive greatness coming your way. Because here, we don't just talk about cars, we celebrate them.